to the Quran? How can we get connected to the verses more and more, even though if we don't know how to speak Arabic? Because as it's been always my belief, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that most of us, most of humanity, most of Muslims, they don't know Arabic. The vast majority of Muslims today don't understand Arabic. But still Allah asks us and encourages us and want us to contemplate. As I said before, Al-Quran is not only words. Al-Quran is a combination of words and meaning. And if you can find a good translation and you study it, you can connect yourself to the Quran a lot. Most of the people who accepted Islam, what's the reason for, number one reason for people to be Muslims? Study shows, many researchers and many organizations who are specialized in giving da'wah to non-Muslim, they say, number one reason that they had a copy from the Quran. They read the Quran. And that's what basically convinced them to be Muslims. When they read that, when they read the Quran, they didn't read the Arabic text. They read what? The English translation or whatever language that they're speaking. Because Al-Quran still have power in its meanings, not only in the words. And that's why these principles will help us to focus on the meanings in a way that it will make us contemplate and connect more to the Quran. So principle number 8, that you always, whenever you read the Quran, you read a verse in the Quran, or while you're reading, you look at the verse and you start looking at the context of this verse. Okay? And you see what's the connection between this verse and the previous verses and the following verses. Especially if that verse doesn't fit in the paragraph. Like let's say, give you an example. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke in Surah Al-Baqarah about the rulings of fasting, in the middle of the verses that's speaking about fasting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. If my servant asks you, Muhammad, about me, I am near answering the call of any caller. Whenever that caller call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is near and He will answer that call. So here you ask yourself, this verse just came in the middle of the verses that talk about the ruling of fasting, breaking your fast, what the expiation, how to make up the days that you miss, and basically the importance of fasting Ramadan. But in the middle, this verse speaking about a dua. And ulama, you said, what will be the connection? You know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to know that ibadatul siyam, the act of worship, which is fasting, it should be connected to another ibadah, which is a dua with prayers. Why? Because a dua upon breaking your fast is acceptable. A dua in the time of suhoor, when you take your late supper before Fajr, it's a time where the dua is acceptable. A dua while you are fasting is acceptable. A dua during the month of Ramadan is encouraged and something that highly recommended for you to do so. So you can see the connection. And that's how it is. In the middle also Surah Al-Baqarah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was talking about charity and giving charities, as-sadaqah, and the importance of charity and how Allah multiplied the reward of charity. In the middle of all this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring a verse which is very interesting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about wisdom. وَمَن يُؤْتَ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. That those who have been giving wisdom, been giving a lot of goodness. You say, what the wisdom? Why the wisdom talk about being a wise person while he's talking about being a charitable person? Being a person who give in donation, give in charity and give donations. Why the wisdom came in the middle? You see, because the opportunities are so, there's so many ways to give sadaqah. Many different types of sadaqah. So you need to be wise how to give your sadaqah. You need to be wise whom to give the sadaqah to. You need to be wise when it comes to the money and to know that wisdom will lead you to know that whatever you give, that's what you really save. And whatever you kept for yourself, that's the money that you didn't save. You know, wisdom will let you come to arrive to the conclusion that helping people really means helping yourself. That's a wisdom. That's why Salaf, when they see a poor person coming to them asking for money, that they will say, "Marhaban biman ja'a liyaghsila dhunubi." Welcome the one who comes to purify me from my sin. Anytime I get a request from an organization in my masjid to fundraise, I say, thank you for giving us the opportunity to donate. Because when we donate to a cause, we're really helping ourselves, benefiting ourselves. That's wisdom. That's a wise person. That's something a wise person will realize. It's a wisdom when it comes to give sadaqah jariyah versus just one-time help. It needs a wisdom how you deal with the poor. You know, instead of giving man a fish, teach him how to fish. It required wisdom dealing with social issues like that. That's why when you start thinking that way and you broaden your thinking, the Quran completely will feel different to you. When Allah talk about His light, when He mentioned Allahu nuru samawati wal ard, the light of the heavens and earth. If you look, this verse came in the middle of the verses talking about lower your gaze and protecting your chastity and not to fornicate and to stay, basically not to look at the haram and to look things, the awra and someone that you're not supposed to look at. Al-ulama rahimahullah said, because those who protect their eyes and make sure that the light of their eyes will only go to what is halal, Allah will give them light in their heart. And that's the result of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's light. Because Allah will not put His light in the heart of someone that he looks to the haram. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all of us. وَنُورُ اللَّهِ لَا يُهْدَى لِعَاصِي. Allah's light, as Waqi' said, will not be given to a sinner. May Allah forgive us. Let's have a quick break and we come back to continue our discussion, inshallah ta'ala.
Ramadan, 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 ya Habib, Ramadan. We welcome your month, we all adore, we pray for happiness.
If you are not positive, you cannot motivate.
Absolutely.
If you are not positive, you cannot recognize, you cannot even look for the good things.
Absolutely. Unless it is in your heart, you cannot practice it and exercise it with other people. The meaning of the word La ilaha illallah to everyone, to all the people who are around him.
Right.
As many people as he can. So this is the mission. But this concept solves many problems.
Yes.
Whenever you visit a place that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is sitting in, if you don't know him, you will never be able to say that this is Prophet Muhammad or this is Prophet Muhammad. Tell me about a person in this world who does not need mercy. Mercy is a key way or a key word for healing the hearts of human beings.
What happens is they get so many rejections, but they feel so bad about themselves. They don't know that what's been rejected now is your current skills, your current experience, which by time and effort can develop.
Yeah. But primarily you are doing this job, so perfect it. And this is part of our great religion, is perfection. And perhaps there is another chapter about this. Perfect your work. Give the right to the job that you have.
Ramadan, welcome holy month Ramadan, Ahlan Ramadan. Ramadan, 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 ya Habib, Ramadan.
Welcome back to our discussion about Ramadan being the month of change and changing the way we deal with the Quran. The principle that I would like to speak about now is principle number 9, which is the choice of phrase. Quran have very unique phrases. And one of the things that you need to start developing, that look at how the description, the phrase that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to refer to something. And I give you several examples so you can develop that ability and that skill. When Allah talked about the story of Al-Ukhdud, Ashab Al-Ukhdud, the people of the trench, He said, أعوذ بالله من الرجيم إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير. Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds will have gardens beneath which rivers flow. That is the great attainment, al-fawz al-kabir, the greatest winning. Surah Al-Buruj, the greatest winning. لا أعرف في القرآن, I don't know in the Quran any other verse had that phrase, the greatest winning, al-fawz al-kabir, a greatest winning. You ask yourself, okay, so that description so unique, the greatest winning. You said, what did they do? What's the thing that they won? That Allah referred to as the greatest one or winning. And you will find and come to see describing this event, which is the event of the people of the trench. Even though all of the companions of the trench were burned alive. All of them were killed and executed and burned alive. This shows that true success is in holding into the principles. That's the true meaning of success. The true meaning of success, that when you succeed in the hereafter. وَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ. Those who Allah saved them from hellfire and entered it, they attain the true meaning of success. The greatest winning, when you be able to hold into your principle to the last moment of your life. That's the greatest success. ذَلِكَ الْفَوْزُ الْكَبِيرُ. Those who killed them did not win. Did not win. Those who tortured them and killed them and destroyed their villages, they're not winners. When we see today, in Syria and many other places in the world, where homes destroyed, cities wiped out, in battlefields, and if this is not the real meaning of winning. You might be able to kill someone. You might be able to put someone down onto the ground on their knees. But if that person still stand up tall from inside, you cannot break that person, that's a great winning. So you look at the phrase and you start contemplating what that phrase means. Another phrase in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in Surah Al-An'am, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ هَدَى اللَّهُ فَبِهُدَاهُ مُقْتَدِهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, those are the ones whom Allah has guided. So take their guidance as an example. Take what? Their guidance as an example. We are commanded here by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take their guidance as an example, not taking them as an example. It's interesting, the phrase, it said take their guidance, didn't say take them as an example. This is to show that our religion is not based on personalities, but methodology. It's nothing to do with them personally. It has to do with the methodology that they represent, which is the methodology of the Salaf Salih, of the early Muslims. So the phrase is very unique. فَبِهُدَاهُ مُقْتَدِهِ. Another verse, or another phrase, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Baqarah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. من ذا الذي يقرض الله قرضا حسنا فيضاعفه له من ذا الذي يقرض الله قرضا حسنا فيضاعفه له أضعافا كثيرة والله يقبض ويبسط وإليه ترجعون. Who is that would loan Allah a goodly loan? It's very interesting. Allah referred to sadaqah, used the phrase loan. You ask yourself, why would Allah refer to sadaqah, charity, as a loan? As if you're giving Allah a loan. Because loan, it means, when I take loan, it means it will be giving back. So Allah guaranteeing you that it will be given back to you. Loan, you give it to someone who's rich, you know you're going to get back. And Allah is the most rich, so you know for sure it will be given back to you. So the word is give you that feeling in your heart that something coming back, and not only coming back the same way, فَيُضَاعِفَهُ لَا, it will be multiplied to you. When someone that you dear and you love asks you for a loan, what would you say? No? So if you truly love Allah the most, you will not say no. Also loan, as if Allah taking that loan on behalf of those people who need it. Shows you how much He cares for the poor. So the phrase is so powerful, so unique. And the more you start thinking of these phrases and what it represents, the experience of reading the Quran will be completely different. Don't you agree? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a good understanding of the religion. Let's bring this episode to an end. But the subject will continue inshallah in the next episode. Looking forward for it. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ramadan, Ramadan, Ramadan.